to help contribute to us. And so we just want to welcome everybody and thank you for coming and making time on a Sunday to invest in your Atomy business. So as you all know, we begin every meeting with the company motto. So let me go ahead and, are you seeing it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So let's all start with the company motto and then we'll talk about what we're going to cover today. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Good, go.
Cherish the
Cherish the
spirit,
spirit,
create the vision,
Follow the faith,
faith,
serve the
community,
Ajab,
Ajab,
Ajab.
woohoo, good job, good job. So this week we're going to talk in two parts. I'm going to cover the 8 steps of success in part A, and then Jessica will cover our life scenario in part B. If you don't know what those are, you'll find out as we start to explain them and talk about these a little bit. So let me, oh, I'm sorry, I called up the wrong thing. I've got 2 PowerPoints that I'm working on at the same time here. So you give Lynn too many things and why is this not responding to me? Let me try this again. I apologize.
Take your time.
There you go.
All right. But it does, there, I don't want duplication. I want to go back to the beginning. Okay. You're going to see this whole thing in reverse. All right. Okay. So now that you've signed up to be an Atomy member and you've used the products and you're thinking that maybe you'd like to build a business, what are some steps to doing that? Well, we're very fortunate in Atomy in that our CEO, Mr. Park, made sure to map out not only a marketing plan and a compensation plan, but he's given us 8 steps to success in order to build our Atomy business. And he's told us different steps that we can take in order to go ahead and build. So what are the next steps to start and succeed in my Atomy business? So there are 8 steps to success. And I would encourage you, if you haven't yet, go to YouTube and just search Atomy 8 steps to success. You will see a couple from our CEO, a couple of YouTube videos about the 8 steps. They take about an hour. And then there's one from the May 2021 Success Academy, and our very own David Choi talks about the 8 steps to success, and his talk was very, very good too. So here we have 8 steps. You'll see them and we'll talk about them individually, but set a goal, commitment, list up, invitation, explain the business, follow up, consultation, and duplication. They are not difficult to do. So the very first step is to set a goal. Now, ultimately, all of us should have a goal of wanting a balanced life where we're putting time into work, but we've got enough time for ourselves and our families and to do the things that bring us joy. The balanced life could be just a dream for some that they feel that they can't attain, but with Atomy, we can attain that. Gil Park said, if you dream vividly, it will definitely come true. If you move forward with this dream confidently, your future will change. So when it comes to setting goals, there are different types of goals. And if we just set out a goal of, I want a balanced life, but we don't break down smaller goals to get there, we will just get frustrated. So our long-term goal might be for a balanced life. It might be to have enough residual retirement income when we retire. It could be that you want to provide a college education for your children or your grandchildren. Whatever that long-term goal is the overarching, it's the goal that is the umbrella to everything else that we do. And then we break that down into short-term goals. So you might have a goal for today. Today, I will call one prospect about the Atomy business and talk about the products. That may be my goal for today. And so then you can set up a goal for the week. This week, I'm going to sign up 2 members to my right leg, and I will follow up with the people I reached earlier in the week. Over the course of this month, I want to make a commission at least once. And by the end of the year, I will become a sales master. Don't write goals that are not achievable. We use SMART goals, and I think Christina will be talking about that or not Christina, Jessica will be talking about that when she talks about the life scenario. But we want goals that we can reach. And then as we reach those goals, that will give us the encouragement to go ahead and make more new short-term goals and drive us towards our long-term goal. Write your goals down. We are 42% more likely to achieve our goals when we write them down. So write them down. If you work at a computer all day, write your long-term goal and your short-term goal on a little sticky that you could stick to the computer screen. So even while you're doing your work at your full-time job, you can keep your Atomy goals in mind. And you never know, that might help trigger you to remember to talk to a coworker about Atomy. But you always want to keep those where you can see them. Make a little sign for your bedroom or your nightstand. Just put them somewhere where you can see them and they're written down to help continue to keep yourself motivated to achieve your goals. When you attach a date to a goal, whoops, sorry. I need to move the people. All right. So when you write down a dream with a date, it becomes a goal. So a dream is more of a wish. I wish I could sign up 2 people to my right leg this week. But if you, soon. But if you say, I'm going to sign up 2 people new to Atomy by the end of this week, then it becomes a goal. It becomes something real and tangible. And then you break that goal down into steps, which become your action plan to achieve that goal. Believe it or not, in nursing, whether it's in the hospital doing that kind of work, or whether it's in the type of work that I do, for every patient or member that I reach, every sick person, I have to write my nursing care plan. And that includes what the problem is. And I have to write a SMART goal and then break that down into how I'm going to help that person achieve their goal. But once you do that, then you can visualize it more clearly and it's easier to make your dreams come true. Step number 2 is commitment. It's really hard to find people who are committed to things these days. We see commitments made when we get married to people, commitments when you sign a mortgage that you're going to pay off your house in 30 years, commitments when you sign a car loan that you're going to pay off the car loan in 4 years. We need to make sure that once we make the decision for Atomy, that we're going to stay committed. You need to be the center of your life, and you should influence the people around you with your thoughts and ideas. Don't let other people steer what your life should be. So we may have people around us that have expectations of us that aren't expectations that we have for ourselves. We need to be true to ourselves, and we know what we're capable of, we know what we can do, and we need to push ourselves outside of that boundary. David said something that I really, really liked in his, when he talked about the 8 steps in the Success Academy. The why is more important than the how. And it's so true. One of the first things we have people address when they attend the Auto Sales Master School is why they do Atomy. It's the why that's going to keep you committed to your goal when the steps aren't working out in the time or the way that you hope they would. When people might say they're not interested, or you've reached a few people and no one's returning your calls, or maybe they are returning your calls, but they're not interested. If you're going to feel a lack of success from that, you're going to quit. But if you remember your why, if you remember your commitment, that's what's going to keep you strong and motivated to stick with these proven 8 steps, to just continue to push on. Someday it will pay off. Mr. Park said, you will run into people who try to talk you out of doing this business. If that's the case, just disregard them and move on to the next person. This has to become a priority if you are going to achieve your goal. The bigger the goal, the more priority it needs to be. So we have 2 states of being when it comes to situations. We can either be proactive, we can either take control of the situation and do whatever we can to make it happen, or we can react. We can respond to a situation that's been put upon us. We want to be proactive in growing our business. If we sit back and wait to react, nothing's going to happen. We have to put the hard work in and be proactive in trying to be committed and grow our business. Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. At the beginning of a new venture, we're all gung-ho and we all want to give it everything we've got, and we put a lot of energy into it and we're so excited. And then a few weeks go by and it's not working out the way we had envisioned it would. And it's harder than we thought it would be, or it takes more time than we thought it would take. That mood, it's almost like when you first fall in love with somebody and you've got those googly eyes and, oh, everything that person does is perfect. And then you spend more time together, and then there's some things that start to show up that you're like, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. Commitment means sticking with it no matter what, and long after the mood has left you. And I think that I wish I knew who that author was, because that's a wonderful saying. The third step is to list up. So who are we going to talk to about Atomy? I don't have much family here in the United States, I'll be perfectly honest with you. And my parents are in their 90s and they're not ready. They're just not in a position. My mother doesn't use a computer or anything, so I just give her products. I've only got one brother. He's not interested in the business. I've got 3 children. I've approached them. But then after that, where do you go when you don't have much family? Well, there's a lot of different things that we can look at. But the first thing is, you don't want to be your own stumbling block by only listing people that you think might be interested. It's amazing, people that you may not have been in touch with for a long time, you might not even realize that they would be interested in, because you haven't spoken to them in so long, you're thinking, oh, they wouldn't want to do this. You never know. They didn't say no. You're the one saying no for them. So just put that individual's name down and decide that you're going to give them the opportunity. You're not burdening them. We're calling them with an opportunity to improve their health, to improve their personal care. That's how we have to look at it. The speed at which you're able to inform the people on your list will help to determine your success. And if you want to achieve something challenging in your life, make them happen in an intensive manner. So this is a way to try to determine who you should call, who you should approach about Atomy. And it's done with this acrostic called FRIENDS. So the F stands for friends, family, and familiar relations. So you know who those people are. Check out, if you have Facebook, look at your Facebook friends. Check out your phone book in your phone, who your contacts are. When you're at work, take a look around and see there are people at work that you could talk to. Go through records. Has anybody ever given you a business card? You have a business card of the place where maybe you get your hair done, you get your nails done. Maybe you've got business cards to people from workplace businesses that you could approach about Atomy. Consider the industry. Have you been involved in other MLMs? You know, if you have, once you sign up with Atomy, this is an MLM that is like no other when it comes to its righteousness and how it pays us and how it walks with its integrity. You may have people who got very discouraged from other MLMs because their points reset every month and they were never able to earn any money. Or they earned money, but they didn't like how they had to go around people or treat people in order to get there. So think of some friends that you know have been involved in MLM in the past, or maybe you've had experience with these people in an MLM in the past, and think about inviting them to listen. I already talked about your electronic friends, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook Messenger, wonderful tools that we have. And you know, these tools can be used for things that are either not so good, or they can be used for things that are very good. Well, let's use them for our benefit. Network with a purpose. If you're going somewhere and you know it's going to be a group of people, have a few business cards with you or have a few product brochures with you. Take one of our new masks that comes in a box for $11. They're $1.10 a piece. They fit into either a coat pocket or a purse very easily. Have a little sample of something on you, a tube of toothpaste, one of the small ones, but always be ready when you're in a group to be able to bring it up to whoever's there. You can make direct contact with a waitress in a restaurant, with the person doing your hair, with someone that you just happen to meet on the street that you used to attend the same church and you haven't seen each other in forever. That happened to me young today. And it was wonderful because she was able to talk to them about Atomy a little bit. And that's not what they didn't expect to see each other at all. So be prepared for that. And then try to associate names. So if you've got a friend named Cindy, think, is there anybody else that I know that's named Cindy? Do some association that way so that if it's not someone that you might have their phone number for or might not be in a Facebook list, if it's someone that you think you would want to reach, you could get their contact information from someone else. So friends is the acrostic that we use. If you need to, take a picture of this screen, and that way this will jog your memory later on if you're in a rut about trying to find people. Here's another way. When Osuk does the Auto Sales Master School, she talks about her notebook that she has, and part of her notebook is for her downline. And so she makes notes about them. So here you'll see that Anne is married with 2 teenage children. You know what tells me right away when I hear the word teenager? I have teenage children. Their skin, acne, their hormones. That's what comes to mind right away. And so that might be something that you could bring up to your friend Anne. How are your kids doing with acne? Are they bothered by that very much? Because if they are, we've got a couple of product lines that work really well for that. If Anne likes a very clean home, we've got products for a clean home. If her husband has health issues, there's your open door for HemoHim, probiotics, vitamin C, vitamin B complex, the whole gamut. With Regina, she works in real estate. She would be an awesome person to try to get into your downline because she's probably got a lot of contacts. If she's health focused, you know, people who are real estate agents, they have to look like it's Sunday every day of the week. I mean, they have to look picture perfect when they bring people to see homes or to talk to them about real estate. And so if she does a lot of exercise and takes a lot of supplements, for her, the idea of being busy with real estate, but having one online mall where she could buy all of these things without having to run to GNC for some supplements and CVS for the others. And then she has to go to the mall to Macy's to get her skincare. This would really save her time and it might be attractive to her. Then we have an example here of Jonathan. He works in a hospital. He has 2 small kids and he's taking care of his elderly parents. That requires a lot of Jonathan and his wife, and they need to learn a little bit about self-care and taking care of ourselves by using good skincare products and taking care of our bodies with our supplements and hemohim. That might be attractive to him. And then if his elderly parents have health issues, this is a way for him to help them as well. So when you find out about people, jot little notes down about them and try to see if there's a connection between what their needs are and how we through Atomy can help meet their needs. Invitation. Very few people will ever look at, if you're carrying a bag of Atomy products or whatever, not many people are going to stop you and say, what's that? We have to be the ones that look for those opportunities in people, just like we saw in the third step with those 3 scenarios, and try to think of how we can fit their needs and introduce what we have to offer them. And then when they find out the marketing plan or no financial commitment to try this, and then they try our products, that's when they're going to fall in love with them. Now, Hungill Park says it's important that we're committed to making a certain number of phone calls a day consistently. What is really considered working is to make those phone calls, to meet with people and attend trainings. So some of us don't have a full-time job. We may have time during the day when we're able to make calls every single day to people, attend all the meetings, meet with people if that's what's needed. And then some of us work a full-time job, and right now we're doing Atomy part-time. But there's still a way to look at the structure of your week and decide where Atomy is going to fit in. What I do is I take the days that I've got meetings, and automatically those days are Atomy days. And if I have a little bit of time between work and the meetings, I'll try to get a phone call into somebody new or a follow-up call into somebody. And that's that whole half of that day is an Atomy day. If there's a day when I don't have meetings and I don't have to work, say like on a Saturday, well, then that's when I'm going to try to visit with people or try to take a few sample products and go give them out to people and talk to them about Atomy. Mr. Park says the temperature must go over 100 Celsius for water to boil. That's true. We put a pot of water on the stove and we turn the stove on, and after a while the water's boiling. But what happens if we turn the stove off? The water gradually stops boiling and then cools down and runs cold and then just lays still again. We don't ever want to get to where we're just laying still. Even if we're only making a few bubbles in that boiling water, we want to keep our water going all the time. So again, by building relationships, by eliminating blocks people might say they have to purchasing. If people have questions, you don't have to have all the answers, but you know what? You know a lot of people who have a lot of answers. Reach out to them and get those answers. Nobody minds if you say to them, you know what? I've never been asked that before, and I'm not sure I know the right answer. I'll get the right answer and get back to you by tomorrow. People are fine with that. They just want the right answers. Invite them to try the products. I've given a lot of product away. I'll admit that. But for me, to me, that's an investment in my business. This is my business. I don't have, because I work full time, I don't have a lot of time to spend reaching people on the phone and working the business in other ways. But I can have products on me, and I can listen to my friends when they talk and try to identify a need and then give them something, either a toothbrush and toothpaste or a small box of hemohim for them to try. Or I recently gave a mother who's taking care of her bedbound son, who's 34, an evening facial set so that she could take care of herself a little bit. Once she tries it, I know she's going to want to try other things. And I also think that the Bible's right when it says, if we give, we will receive. And God's already blessed me a lot just from the bit of giving I've been able to do with Atomy. Help them to learn more about the product. you want your customers or potential customers to understand what it is that they're taking. So tell them, just do a search about Atomy on YouTube and then put in HemoHim, put in skincare, put in body care, put in supplements, and all of these YouTube videos are going to come up. And there's so much information there. And then there's so much information on our website. So if they don't want to sign up right away, give them your ID number and your guest password and invite them to go on the website and read all about the products for themselves. Tell them testimonies that you've heard about. Tell them we can't make health claims. I can't tell this woman that her son's going to get out of bed and start walking just because he's taking HemoHim. But Lyme disease has really wrecked his body and his whole neurological system. Maybe HemoHim will prevent a further decline. I don't know, but all I know is it won't hurt. And if he sees some improvement, any improvement is good. And then invite them to attend our Zoom meetings or watch Success Academies. You can tell them, don't expect to really understand everything that you hear at first, but the more you expose yourself to the people who work Atomy and to those who do this, the more you're going to learn, and it will someday start making sense. You can try to explain the business a little bit, the company concept, about the products. If they're curious about the compensation plan, you can go there, but keep it very basic at first. Just let them know that their products, when they buy products, it comes with points that they can then turn into money. And that might get them interested in wanting to know more about that. Let them know that what Atomy's vision is, that someday we're going to be competing with Amazon, that we're going to have a global Atomy with globally sourced products. We already do, but it's going to just continue to grow. And there'll be points attached to everything at that point, even really big ticket items. Follow-up is very important. That's step number 6. So you might introduce it to somebody and they might say, well, let me think about that and I'll get back to you. If they don't get back to you within 2 or 3 days, you need to get back to them and just say, did you give what I was talking to you about any more thought? Is there a product you'd like to try? I'm going to be ordering soon. Let me know what product you'd like to try and I'll order it. And you can see if you think it'll work for you. If they have any doubts about the business, if they haven't given it any thought, you're giving them that nudge so that they'll go ahead and give it some more thought and hopefully sign up with you. Consultation. So if you feel like you've hit a dead end, you've done everything you know how to do, you've tried everything you know how to try, you're not alone. Don't sit there and get discouraged and make a decision that you might regret later about either giving up or quitting. You have people around you who have felt that very same way many, many times before. Talk to them, talk to your sponsor, or talk to someone, maybe even in your downline who's doing well. Talk to Osuke or David. Your global center leaders are always willing to talk to you. Talk to your fellow Atomians. I'm happy to talk to anybody who has a question if I can help answer it. We're all in this together. And so some of us are very encouraged at one time and other people are very discouraged. And when we come together in those times, we all encourage each other. So make sure that you reach out for help or you reach out for an encouraging word when you can. And these are just some problems that people might be able to help you with. If you're having trouble registering people as members, well, practice your approach, role play, pretend that I pretend Mi-young is someone new and I can practice with Mi-young about how I would talk to them about the business. And she would have ideas of, I wouldn't say it this way, I would try to say it that way. And you never know that just changing the approach with a person and using different words might help. If you don't have many sales, you don't have many repeat customers, talk to your upline about that and find out how could I encourage them to continue to be auto consumers. And then duplication. It's what we're all hoping to do. We're hoping to sign people into our business that are then going to want to start a business of their own. Well, guess who their example is going to be? for starting a business. It's going to be you. They're going to pattern their business after you. So I set expectations pretty clear with people. I've got 2 people now interested in doing the business, but they know I'm part-time. They're part-time. So we're all trying to work together to maximize the amount of time we can spend in the business to help grow our business. But if I felt like I couldn't give them as much time as they needed, I would look to my upline and see if they could help supplement me and help support this person along with me. But in the long run, we want our downline to see us working with our upline and working with each other in order to be a success. So this is just another slide. You could take a quick picture of it, but this just helps to give you some ideas on how to research, engage, purchase, support, and advocate for your members. We're not going to go through the whole thing. You can take a quick snapshot, or you could ask us for the slide and we'll send it to you later. So now I'm going to pass this along to Jessica for a life scenario, but we'll take questions at the end. So if you have questions, write them down and then we'll address your questions at the end. So I am now going to turn this over to Jessica to talk about life scenario. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. This is Jess coming from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Going to talk to you about the life scenario. Actually, we're going to talk about 2 things, about the book and then also how to do it in the computer. Yep, there we go. Like, yay. This is like your kind of like your guide now, like it's like a map. All right, so let me get my screen here. Let's see. Sorry, just be patient. Oh, here it is. Okay, can everybody see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so life scenario. So we are going to be talking in detail how to write our guide, because remember, our first step to success is to set a goal. So we have to kind of like really, you know, the more we write it, the more it kind of like we have a guide and a commitment. So we will be able to commit to what we wrote. Because if we just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to put it here in my brain, you know, sometimes we forget. It's just human nature. So, and probably age too, as we get along, we forget things. So it's good to write it down. So there's a saying, writing your goals down, if they're not written, they're just dreams. So when you write things down, it sets up a chain of events that will change your life. So, and in here in Atomy provides us with the tools. So they were, first of all, we have all these tools, the book, and also the one in our website. So the life scenario, you need to have a clear understanding of where you are right now, and you know what you have at this very moment. Step 1, the first stone, just it's just like a path where there's like different stones in the garden. That's the first stone that you're going to be stepping stone. You need to kind of, how do you get from step 1 to step 2 up to reach to your goal? But in order to do that, you have to have a vivid, dream. It has to be clear, and it's not so, don't make it too vague that you don't even know where to start. So make it as vivid as you can, and to see what your future is going to be like. So you have to be there's a way to do it. We're going to be doing the SMART technique in order to write a goal. So it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be attainable, it has to be relevant, and there should be a time frame. So it's what we call the SMART goals. Okay, so just like Lynn said, there should be, very specific, like for short-term goals. I'm going to try to introduce Atomy to at least 1 to 3 people each day. So that's specific. So each day there's a time frame, It's measurable. You could, oh yeah, if it's 2 to 3, it's attainable. Obviously, that's very realistic. It's like, oh, I'm going to introduce to 100 people in one day. That's impossible. So, I mean, we had to be realistic and also relevant. So you're just gonna say, oh, it has to be relevant to what your goal is. So that's for the short term. And then also, just like Lynn said about the long term, you have to be, you have to also be specific. Like for some, like, one of their whys of joining Atomy is to have financial freedom. Okay, what does that mean? That's so vague. Like, oh, you want to earn at least, $10,000 per month by, in 2 years time, by becoming a Sharon Rose Master or a Star Master. And it has to be like, very attainable by that time, as long as you start off with your short-term goals and then you reach to your long-term goals. Has to be specific. There's also unmeasurable, attainable, relevant, and there's a specific time frame. There's also other people that one of their whys is like, I'm gonna buy a house by the lake in let's say by Finger Lakes in New York, like right beside the vineyard, and then it will be a log cabin with a big window where I could sit and then sit around and drink my cafe arabica, and then I will try to reach this goal in 10 years or something. So it's very, make it smart goals for you. Okay. So we will start with a video. Atomy has provided a video here, actually Atomy Canada, on how to write into your life scenario guide. Okay, it's the book that you get. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on this video. Okay.
Atomy's life scenario has been updated in 2020. Please write down your name, membership ID, and affiliated center on the first page. Read both President Park's poem and the life scenario manual. Atomy's new life scenario is divided into 8 parts. Part 1, the bucket list. Here you can make a list of your wishes. Writing tip, fill them with specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound wishes. Part 2, the life wheel. This part will help you define a balanced life that is fulfilling, loving, learning, and contributing. Writing tip. First, set 8 keywords to classify your life goals. Second, evaluate your current situation with a dot and join all the dots to create your life wheel. Last, write your goals in detail. Part 3, Big Plan 3. Here you can set and track your promotion goals in Atomy. Writing tip. Give yourself 3 years to achieve your goals and write in detail the target mastership level, income, and PVs. Part 4, the monthly life wheel. Here you can evaluate your progress towards achieving your goals in the life wheel. Writing tip. Your thoughts on values and goals may have been changed over time. You can create a better life wheel by adjusting your goals accordingly. Part 5, monthly business goals and plans. Here you can write your goals and plans for each month. Writing tip, write down your monthly business goals and plans using the 8 steps to success. Make a to-do list with specific items needed to be done for your business. At the bottom, your monthly progress can be divided into 2 sections, with records of your income, sales PVs, and mastership level. Keep your commitment to the business by checking your current status. Part 6, the monthly 8 core checklist. This checklist will guide you to do your business effectively. Writing tip. What is 8 core? reading, watching videos, attending meetings, using products, STP, talking to consumers, consulting sponsors, and building trust. Check every day and mark with an O or an X. Part 7. Monthly 8 Steps to Success Assessment. Here you can write a self-assessment of your own monthly business activities. Writing tip. Evaluate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 on each category of the 8 steps to success. Calculate the growth of your business by connecting these dots and adding up the total score each month. Improve your business by using the self and sponsor feedback and reviewing your actions. Part 8. Diary from my future self. The final part of the life scenario is to write a message from the viewpoint of your future self. Writing tip. Determine how and when you will have achieved your dreams and describe a vivid picture of what will have happened in the future. Check out the example provided by Chairman Han Gil Park. Atomi's life scenario will point you to the right direction for your Atomy business, and it will be a guidebook for the success of all Atomy members. You can find Atomy's new life scenario in Atomy's online shopping mall.
Okay, there you go. I love that video. I was so happy I found that video because it does give you an idea of what about this book. Because when you just look at this book, like, it's overwhelming. Where do I start? So that's a very good way. You could, it's in YouTube. It's also in CH Atomy. If you need to to view this video again, or if anybody just wants a link, just shoot me a message and I could send you a link to this. That way you could review, okay? So, and each time you, for each part, just kind of read around it. You know, don't start with your life wheel. You know, that's the current one that you're going to be, the first one you're going to be doing, your life wheel. What's the most important things in your life? And then that's where you start. And then just kind of gradually do the rest of the little parts there until you're able to kind of get used to it. But start with your life wheel and see where you are at this point with your life. Is it balanced? Is it not so balanced? Because, you know, if your life is balanced, that little dots there would become a circle, like a perfect circle. But if it's not, if it's crooked, it looks like a map of an island or something, meaning you're still not balanced, which most of us are. We're not perfect. So we haven't reached our goal yet. That's why we're here in Atomy, because we want to have a balanced life. So start with the life wheel. So in that regard, like me, sometimes I kind of like have really bad handwriting. So I prefer typing my life wheel. So I will show you now where can you do it, like type your life wheel and print it out. And that will be in our Atomy website. So let me see if I could, let me just stop share this because for some reason it doesn't go to the next page. No. Okay, put that one.
That video was terrific. I just have to say, I really loved that. I'm so glad you found that for our class.
I know, I saw that and it's like, oh, this is so wonderful. So, and then I'll just show you a bit on how to do the digital life wheel. First, like for people who don't like to write, like me, because I don't like my handwriting, or I can't understand my handwriting sometimes. So, but I like to type. Okay. All right, so go into your website, log into your website, Atomy, and then if you go in here, let's see if I might do my slideshow. Oh, it's still doing the other one. I'm having technical issues. Hold that thought. Okay. Okay. So now, in order to go to your electronic, I will call it the electronic life wheel. It's in your My Office. When you log into your account, you click on the My Office. Okay. And then when you in your My Office, right there, there is My Life Scenario. So you click on that one. And then there are the couple steps here. So step one, the life plan and the Atomy short-term, the MAP, or your map of your goals too, like a mastership plan. So you click on first step one, which is the life plan. As I said, if you don't want to write it down in the first life wheel here in your book, you can do this too in your website. So click on that one, and here you are. You could choose the different categories that is important to you. So if it's your health, your travel, learning, so just choose two of which ones, because there's will be 8 categories that is the most important to you. Although most of these are important, but what is the most important to you? You click on the box that you want, that you think that's the most important in your life. Okay. And then you click the next button right here. So then now you have the electronic life wheel, and all the categories are already filled out for you by the computer, which is nice, or the software of the website. So now all you have to do is to click on the box here in order to type in what your goals is. So click on the boxes to enter your goals. So let's say by spring of 2020, my family of 6 will be able to go on vacation to London for 2 weeks. And then you could put a picture in it. You don't need to put a picture in it, but at least type something in there, because that way you'll know that is your goal at this very moment. And this is under the travel category. And then you click down in the bottom here of the page, you click confirm. So now it would show up right here that you filled out the first part of your goal. So then you have to do the rest of the little boxes. So there's like 7 more boxes to go. So again, click on that one, and then you repeat the whole process. And then after that, you just click complete. So after completing all the goals, it would show up, and you click complete it, and now it's completed. So now you could view it by clicking on the view, and then it would show up already. So the second one is your mastership plan here too. But before that, there's the step 1 here. You could click on that one to view the completed life wheel, and there you go. And you could print that out. So you don't have to if you're like me that doesn't like to write down using the regular way, using pen and pencil, all you have to do is you go back in, you put a new, so this is my number 1. I could go back in on a different day and do it again. So because remember, you could do it like when every month if you want to, so you could kind of see where you are right now. Is it still important at this level? Because I know our sometimes our priority changes each time, and each we'll never know, like, oh, now I've reached my health and I'm good, so I might need to change my priorities on my goals. So you could go back in. So if you go back here, it has a date, and then this is the life plan. So if you do it another again, do the process of going back to the life scenario, my life scenario part of adding a new one, there will be another one here with a different date. So there will be 2 or 3 depending on how many times you repeated this. So you could see your progress too, and you could print it each time, and then you print it, put it in a little folder, and there you go. So you could do that too. So then you print this one so that you could keep it beside you and give it will be your guide. So once you have the eyes on the prize, it's easier to map down your steps toward that goal. It's just like driving to go to Edison, New Jersey. You need to know, okay, I need to take this highway, then I take the exit number 8 to this highway, and then I exit to merge to this other highway, and then I turn this, to this another exit, and I'm there. So it's the same way with our life goals. We have to have a little bit like milestones in order to reach to that very final goal, the eyes on the prize, the final prize. So the other step here in our my life scenario in our my office is the Atomy short-term mastership plan. Okay, so click on that one, and here you have the option to put in what will be your goal, like what day and what mastership you want to achieve that mastership. So you could click on this one, and again you could still edit this. Not like, oh, it's set in stone. You could always edit this according to where you think you are right now. Okay, if you're faster, oh yeah, you could change it. Like, yeah, in 1 year time I'll be a diamond. I'll be like, and then 2 years time I'll be like Sharon Rose. So you could adjust it, or you could do, this is you're the one in control for this. So click on each box for the date, and then of course the mastership that you want to. And then you also have a team goal, wherein you could also write down here in the boxes. And then you click the next button after you're done writing or typing in this regard. And then here it would show up what you just kind of like added in the previous page. It's much more prettier for me. So then you could also print this and then stick it into your folder, your goal, your life scenario folder if you want. So now I have both the book and this. Kind of keep, just to kind of keep you, keep it beside me. And then just click complete. So that's how you do it, like both the traditional way with the pen and paper, and which most people like to do. They like the physical, I call it the kinesthetic. It's, you could feel it, the tactile, since that's important for most people. And there's some people who just like, the electronic part too. There's a different way to do it, and you can do it in my office. So I'll end my my part, the lesson, and I think that's the end of our lesson on life scenario, with this quote: goals in writing are dreams with deadlines. So that's definitely, what we're trying to do here. That's the first step. Set a goal, because we want to reach our dreams. So that's it.
Very good. Oh, thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
So now we're going to take a few minutes to answer any questions or to brainstorm. If you're having a problem or a struggle with something, people might be able to have ideas to help you achieve your goals. Does anybody have any questions tonight, or comments even? Any problems that you're having with your business, bring them forward.
It's overwhelming. First time to see it.
Yes. That's why it's good to break it down into small chunks. When we talked about short-term goals and long-term goals, just focus on one small goal to start with. That's all. And once you achieve that goal, then you move on to another one. But the business itself is overwhelming. To be honest with you, that part where you have to put down where, which mastership you want to be at by this time, I can't do that. Right now, my focus, I'm a sales master. My focus is to be auto sales master. So that's where I want to go next. And so I know that tells me I have to be working with my downline and adding more people to, especially to my right side, my weak side. So that helps keep my energy going in one place. But other than that, it can be very overwhelming, Narissa. You're so right. Anybody else? We've got people on this call who know an awful lot about the business, so we want to take advantage of them while they're here. We've got David, Myung, Osuk. So if you have questions, if you're having challenges, this is a safe place to bring them up. Okay. Nothing else? All right, well then we're going to end with our company motto. And I just want to remind you that this was week 5. Next week will be week 6, and that will end this round of the beginners class. And then we'll start all over again with week 1 after that. So if you have new people in your downline and they're wanting to know, all right, I want to start buying from Atomy, how do I do that? What do I do now? This is the class to send them to, along with the center meetings. And if they can make this 1 hour on a Sunday night, that would be great. We also have the Philippine beginners class that Christina Rosa runs on, is it Friday nights or Saturday mornings? I think it's Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock, and that's in English. But we can always make sure that we get you, that's always posted in our Kakao Talk anyway when that's being held. So if someone can't make a beginner's class on a Sunday, they have another option, which is really great. All right then. So let's call up our company motto. Whoops, wrong PowerPoint, Lynn. Ay, ay, ay. It's a good thing I don't, well, in a way, I kind of do this for a living.
Oh my gosh, it's you and Jessica. You guys are wonderful. I'm still learning, and I think everybody should be always open mind and just start with the beginning. Don't get too nervous, too overwhelming. Just take it step by step. And I think the best way to do with your immediate sponsor who sign you up. So learn together, discuss it. If you don't understand, then that person can speak to another sponsor. They can explain the thing. So just don't get scared. Just take it step by step, and we can do it together. That's the most important, teamwork together.
Thank you, Myung. I so appreciate your words.
Mm.
Okay, so can you see the company motto?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. This is as good as it's going to get. So is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Cherish
Yes,
Cherish the spirit,
create the vision,
follow
Follow
the
the
lead.
serve in humility.
Ja, 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 ja.
Ja.
Yay.
Thank you.